look, preparing for the IELTS speaking exam could be very overwhelming. And if you're anything like myself, you are probably doing all the research in the world to score a high band. Assalamu alaikum everyone. As an experienced English professor myself, I am giving you the top 7 IELTS speaking part 1 tips that has helped hundreds of my students in my IELTS speaking course score a band 8. Make sure you watch till the end because I actually give you my secret strategy to sounding fluent throughout your IELTS speaking test. So tip 1 is to make sure you stay on topic, guys. Staying on topic is so important, and it's so easy that when the examiner asks you a question in part 1 of your exam, you give him an answer that doesn't relate to the topic at all. And do you live in an apartment or in a house?
My favorite room is my bedroom because I have my home office set up there. So sometimes when I'm off work, I can also enjoy surfing the net on my computer.
And you not only give really short answers, but at least give 2 sentences for each question the examiner asks you in IELTS speaking part 1. So do you work or are you a student?
I work full-time right now.
So do you work or are you a student?
I work full-time as a software developer.
You need to flaunt your English speaking skills in part 1 because it's the first part of the IELTS speaking exam. Tip 2 is to avoid using filler words. Avoid using words such as like, and
that's not a word.
Instead, try to use words like, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
Oh, that's actually a very interesting question.
Let me think about that.
Even if you need to think about it, make sure you tell him, let me think about that. Don't say and remain silent because this is not going to help you. Especially because these are not good words to use in IELTS speaking part 1. Showing off your English speaking skills by giving a good answer, even if you need to think about it for a minute, is the best way to score a band 8. Third tip is try to answer with 2 to 3 sentences maximum for the part 1 section. Remember, so even if the examiner asks, what is your name? Don't just respond with, my name is Sarah. What is your name?
Well, some people call me Johnny, but you can call me John if you like.
You are able to do this so the examiner gets an idea of your comfort level of speaking English, and he gets an idea of how you connect sentences together throughout your IELTS speaking test questions. Guys, tip 4 is when you are discussing your IELTS speaking part 1 questions, try to use vocabulary that's related to the context. If the examiner asks you a question in the different IELTS speaking subjects like, what do you like to do for fun? You could respond with something like, during my leisure time, I actually enjoy playing sport and taking my kids to the park. I usually play soccer on Thursday nights because I find it to be such a great way to relieve stress after a long day. Remember that using these proper terms will help the examiner get an idea of what you are trying to say in your answer. Tip 5, guys, please remember this. Do not memorize your answers.
Nice memorization. Did you Google that?
The examiner is going to get an idea that you looked up speaking IELTS topics with answers that you read online and you are just memorizing them. So instead, work on the answers coming out as natural as possible so that way the examiner actually gets an idea of your comfort level to carry on a conversation.
English, please. English.
Tip 6 is try not to repeat yourself over and over again just for the sake of filling in time, guys.
Why do you keep repeating?
Remember that when you are answering the IELTS speaking questions, if you're done responding, just stay quiet.
Stay quiet.
Don't continue talking and rambling on because you're nervous. Remember to answer with 3 sentences maximum, and if you cannot come up with any other idea, just stay quiet. And guys, the 7th tip is to try to use idioms.
Using my idioms and speech patterns.
Do not use slang language when you are actually responding to the examiner in your speaking task 1 section. Try to use idioms so you are able to show the examiner your comfort level of speaking English, and that you are able to pull out or say certain idioms that relate to the given topic to the examiner. And guys, speaking of idioms, if you want to learn a few idioms that's going to help you crush IELTS speaking, check out this video up here.